What's up, Dolphins? I don't know how long this video is going to be. I don't know what I'm going to say, to be honest. But first of all, I want to say congrats to the Bills. You earned it. You earned that win. You earned the division. And if I say something later on, it's just because I'm mad. I'll give all the props to the Bills. They deserved it. Now, I don't know how Dolphins fans, us age, around my age, have done this all these years. We have never seen a playoff win. We have barely seen them even make the playoffs. I think this is going to be the fourth time they made the playoffs in my lifetime. We have seen some of the worst teams I have ever seen put on a football field. The 1-16 season, yeah, I lived through that. But honestly, out of all those losses that the Dolphins have had in all of those years, this one hurts me more than all of them. You had a 3-game lead on the AFC East. You had the division right there. You were ready to grab it, and you blew it. If they had won that game against the Titans, this wouldn't have been a problem. They would have already won the division. But no, it was the beginning of the end right there. I don't know what you change about this team. And to be honest, no matter what I say, what other fans say, nothing's probably going to change with this team. They're going to run the same exact roster back. They're going to bring McDaniel back. Going to bring Tua back. Run it with Hill and Waddle. Maybe get a few new people on the O-line. But overall, the team's going to remain the same next year. But everyone on this team, okay, not absolutely everyone, but all the key players on this team and Mike McDaniel are all to blame for this loss. I don't know which one to start with. Let's start with Tua. We're going to do Tua and McDaniel and then just go over the rest of the team in general. I think I said let's start with Tua. He has not played a complete game, and I'm saying a complete game so that we can exclude a certain game from last year, a complete, very good game against a good team in a really long time. I can't remember the last time. Might have been that win against the Bills last year. Because that Ravens game, yeah, that was amazing in the second half. He just lit it up, but he didn't show up in the first half. I love Tua, okay? I love his personality. And yes, he is still probably the best quarterback that this team has had since Dan Marino. The competition is not exactly fierce there, though. But his decisions in key games, in key moments, I don't know what. Throwing that last pass into double coverage. Like, you had about a minute and a half left on the clock. Don't force it. Run the ball if you have to. Get a couple yards. Run the ball, slide down, and live for another down. But honestly, I don't know what to say. He has a great arm. He is an extremely accurate quarterback. But his decision-making is just terrible in key situations. Now, I'm not necessarily calling to get rid of Tua, but you have to make a choice this offseason. You either paying him a bunch of money or let him go. there's going to be a lot of teams that don't want to sign him. Okay? You have teams like the Panthers. They're going to want him. The Bears might honestly sign him, put Fields behind him for a few more years. Basically, any team that doesn't have a good quarterback right now is going to want Tua. Now, if you get rid of Tua, which, like I said, I'm not suggesting that you do. I don't know at this point. And I know we still have a playoff game to play. I'll get to that. But if you get rid of Tua, who do you roll with? Do you try and run Skylar Thompson? Do you trade for Russell Wilson? Maybe third time's a charm. I don't know, to be honest. And the other big issue with this team was Mike McDaniel. He was severely outcoached in this game. He made a ton of terrible decisions, and the thing that got me the most, at the end, after Tua threw that interception, he's just smiling and laughing to himself. Like, this isn't a fucking laughing moment. You just blew a 3-game lead on the division. You blew the lead in the game, and you think it's funny? This team is too happy-go-lucky. I know that I talked about them. Oh, they're a fun team. You can see them practicing their touchdown celebrations, and you can see the great chemistry in the locker room, and I'm all for locker room chemistry, but it cannot be all sunshine and rainbows always. This is football. And if you don't have any killer instinct, and you're just all happy-go-lucky all the time, shit like this happens. I have been a fan of this team for as long as I can remember. And I just want something to be happy about at the end of the season. Every single season ends on a disappointing note. And once again, yes, I know the season isn't over yet. You know, this hurts a lot more living in Western New York. Got to deal with all the Bills fans out here. But honestly, I'm never going to stop being a Dolphins fan. I can't do it. But this team just hurts me every single year, and I need it to change. Because of this, they are now going to have to play a road playoff game in Kansas City. I don't know what to expect from this team. Kansas City is looking terrible recently. I know that. But it's still the Chiefs. It's still Patrick Mahomes. It's still Andy Reid. And honestly, yeah, Tua still has not won a game in cold weather. And it's going to be freaking Kansas City in January. It's going to be fucking freezing. And this team can't commit to the run game either. Sorry, my cat just jumped on the table. Come on, baby. I don't know what to expect from this team. But I'm not expecting anything that'll make me happy by the end of that game. I would love to finally see my first playoff win. But I just can't see it happening with this team. And I know I should have mentioned this earlier. Injuries, they're not a fucking excuse. I've said it in other videos. I'll say it again. Injuries are not an excuse at all. It's next man up. It's the NFL. The league doesn't give a fuck if you're injured. Starting quarterback out? Oh, well, you got to play your next game. Oh, your best wide receiver is out for the rest of the season? Well, too bad. Still got to play. It's next man up. Every team deals with injuries. you got to learn to play through them. But yeah, I'm not going to be able to watch the game next week. I got to work. Not that I would pay the money for Peacock probably anyway, which is so fucking ridiculous, NFL. But, of course, they put the Chiefs on there, so they're probably going to get a bunch of Swifties to buy Peacock just so they can see Taylor Swift. But I just want this pain and suffering, man. I just want to see a playoff win at some point. Please, Dolphins. Please. That's about it for this video. Blessed be. Fins up. See you next week.